What the sweetgrass hair and body mist is it is a scent, like it's a room or hair or, body scent that's lightly scented. So it's not like a perfume. We do have perfume, you can find that on the site. That is, it's the scent is sweetgrass. And the name of it is so accurate. It smells like grass, but a little sweeter. It's like almost borderline cinnamony in the scent. But one of the things we really wanted to, put out there is that sweet grass as a plant is a plant that only grows with human cultivation. So it's this piece of nature that requires the human involvement to grow. So for us, it's this perfect like representation of the synergistic relationship of the human experience with the earth, with the plant experience, with the nature experience that we have just kind of encapsulated in a bottle. What's also really unique about sweetgrass is also used as like a gesture of like love or offering from human to human. So when we created it, it's also this like piece of love that we are sharing with you. When we created this one, we're working with a small farm. We are working with a small farm. I don't remember the location, but if somebody's really interested, we could find the location that just grows sweetgrass. And their business is, yeah, just living in this world of this synergistic relationship of human and plant as they're cultivating the sweetgrass. And it's really beautiful, really cool. And so this is what I want to do for our giveaway. This is, human to human. Let us give this to you. The question that I would love to hear is that, we've existed for 17 years of our business. I want to know, like, what do we not have yet in our line that you really want to see us have? We have a million products. If you've ever been on a consult, we've got lots of products that we talk about, but there are things that are out there that we definitely don't have. So I want to hear from all of you what you would love to see. And it could be any category, it can be any yeah, anything. Just tell us what feels interesting to you. I'm gonna read these as we go along because I want to see what's out here. Okay, Jamie, you have sweet gas hydrosol, but ours is different. Yeah, so ours is I'm gonna come back and read this, but let me go into sweetgrass a little bit more because when we craft our hydrosol, excuse me, our sweetgrass hair and body mist, we actually have it produced at a facility, our little facilities out in Colorado that has wind chimes and crystal grids. The sweetgrass bottle itself, the product that we put into the bottle has, God, what is the number? I think it's 529. It's the nature frequency. It's the frequency, the vibration of what we typically associate with nature, and it's being played around it as it's being created. The water itself is also crystal infused, so we have crystals that are in the vat as we're crafting the product. And then this all happens, we're combining this with the sweetgrass, the scent profile, the essential oil. It's not a hydrosol. Ours is not a hydrosol, so the consistency would definitely feel different. But then we've also got the energetic properties that we're putting into that product as well. So that's just a little touch more info about it. Something with jasmine. I feel like jasmine's been popping off lately. We're curious. Oh, that's really beautiful, Mary. She says, as a gardener, the sweetgrass scent reminds her of running through fields as a child. So this is really sweet. Cosmetics. Okay, I'm gonna touch on this. If you're an original Annmarie Skincare, like longtime customer, we did have a foundation line. We had a foundation line, oh man, early in the business up until 2020. And what we discovered when we had our cosmetic line was basically we had a very small population of people who were obsessed with it and then nobody else. So it was like the people who loved it were die hard, but it was not enough people that it made it worth its while, really. So we do still get asked about it every once in a while, but we don't have our own cosmetics line. But we hear you. I'm hearing you that cosmetics are something that's really interesting. Okay, a sunblock hair serum. Celeste said bring the makeup back as I'm talking about it. Heard. Okay. So let me also just say an aside that we just launched in February our Rose Hydrosol, which is a direct product of these surveys. We ask questions like this on almost all of our live calls, and then we literally are just like, what are people asking for time and time again? So that's not saying that we will bring the makeup back. I don't get to make that decision on my own. But I will say that we hear you and that we're taking note of the fact that so many people are interested in this. Uh, Sarah Calloway, first of all, cool last name. Menopause support, that's cool. A feminine balm, salves, makeup. Hmm. Makeup. Tick repellent. Oh, okay. Melissa's asking for the essential oil blends. Wow. Okay. Lots of people interested in the makeup. A deodorant. Other makeup. Aging, care for the body. Okay. Heard. Okay, lots of people love makeup. Lots of people. And Grace, anytime you feel like you have a winner, feel free to pop
I
in there.
do
Just scroll.
have a winner.
Cool.
And our winner is, as the name says in Zoom, Miss Majestic, which I love that. That is so fun. But you are a winner, which is super exciting for Sweetgrass. How we're
Hmm.
gonna do this is I'm gonna put the customer care email in here, and if you just want to email them and let them know that you won on our live event, the Sweetgrass Hair and Body Mist, we will get that sent over your way. But yay, Miss Majestic, I love it for you.
Yay, Mary. Congrats, Mary. Okay, I'm still kind of going through some of these. A couple of these pieces we're speaking about, body support, whole body support. We do have two products. What lives on my desk varies. So I think I have one of them, actually three body products. My personal favorite for the body is actually the Radiant Skin Silk, which I don't have on my desk. But the Radiant Skin Silk is a body lotion. It is very quickly absorbing, but it's one of my favorites for when skin is really crepey. So when you're starting to notice kind of like this just like crepey consistency showing up on the skin, the Radiant Skin Silk is packed with nutrition that supports that. Now, you mentioned neck and chest. It doesn't have anything that's going to be actively brightening or lightening the skin, but it's not uncommon for folks to kind of boost it. So do Radiant Skin Silk in the palm of the hand and do a pump or two of Brighten, which is a pure concentrated vitamin C, and kind of create your own brightening lotion. That a lot of times I work with folks who we talk about doing that or doing it on the backs of the hands. So if you have a lot of sun damage on the backs of the hands, kind of boosting your Radiant Skin Silk with the Brighten, which is a great way to go. But we've also got a body butter, the Palo Santo body butter, which I just took off my desk yesterday because I wanted to use it, which is very rich and a very, very emollient, hydrating body moisturizer. And then there's coconut body oil, this one here, which is a really, really good one. So, um, those three are body products that we have, and we have toyed with doing different scent profiles in oils or lotions in the past. We haven't done one in a really long time, but um, there have been other ones that have kind of popped up here and there. Actually, I think Divine Woods still exists. You could check out the body products page on the site and see what we've got there. But yeah, we do have some body products, and a lot of times on these live calls, we spend a lot of time talking about face or face and neck, but those do exist as well. So, let me see. Let's see. I'm just scrolling through and seeing if there are any questions. Lots of love for the makeup. Yeah, we had a mineral powder line way back in the day. Um, but yeah, I found that it just didn't really move and it cost us a lot to store. And so that was a big part that it was not really moving very much. Ooh, toothpaste. Interesting. Cool, cool, cool. I'm just taking a peek at all of these here. Oh, a 2 to 3 shipping option. Okay, cool. Katie's on here. Yeah, Katie's on here. Cool. Um, okay, checking these out. I want to answer this question. So, can I mix the Brighten with the sunscreen? So, what Celeste is asking about is Brighten and our Sun Love, which are two great products. Generally, I don't recommend mixing anything with the sunscreen because when you mix something into it, you dilute it a little bit. So you lose the full potency of like the sun protection factor. We go through a whole process of measuring what the sun protection block, the factor is. So if you mix something into it, you lose it. If you really want the brighten, mix it into your moisturizer. So it wears really well with the restorative facial cream. I mix it into the serum, but maybe that's not your vibe. But it does wear great with the cream as well. So layer it under, but oops, we don't want to mix that in the Sun Love. And I love that I saw that Katie's my teammate in customer support. She's the manager of customer support. And here in a little bit, I'm going to have her come in and talk about our brand ambassador program, which is a really exciting, like, I don't know, she has more words for it, but it's a great way to um, kind of get bonuses or this like benefit for yourself if you're already talking about the products. So we'll hear from her soon. Okay, let's see. I don't see a lot of questions here otherwise there. So I want to just high level kind of get into what is a basic routine for Annmarie Skin Care? And I won't spend a ton of time on it because so many of you are so seasoned, but there are new folks here and we're celebrating our 17-year anniversary. I want to make sure you know what we're celebrating. So when we build a basic routine with Annmarie Skin Care, we're typically looking at four products: a cleanser, a toner, a serum, and a moisturizer. All four steps in your routine. We're doing this morning and we're doing this evening. In the morning, we've got a fifth, which is the Sun Love. But this four steps are your anchor morning and evening. And they all have a different function. I think the biggest one that most people isn't, for most people necessarily intuitive is the use of a serum and a moisturizer. You want both. The serum and the moisturizer do different things. They have different formulations. Serums tend to be very thin, very aqueous because we want them to absorb into the skin. Serums tend to include pretty active, potent skin changers. Your serum step is usually where I'm like, okay, think about what you want to see different. What do you want to see change over time? What do you want to see evolve with your skin? Moisturizers tend to have like a fat body to them, and they're supporting the upper barrier of the skin. So you need both. It's not usually enough to just have the hydration from the serum. It's not always enough to just have the fat from the moisturizer. Those two kind of work in tandem when you're creating your routine. So for my newbies, my new folks, you're going to cleanse, you're going to tone, you're going to use your serum, you're going to use your moisturizer. If it's morning and you're going out into the world, you're going to put Sun Love on. Um, let me with that go in and see what questions have popped up here. So, cool. Okay, so somebody tried the makeup and it didn't work for them. Makes sense. That tracks. Oh, interesting. So OneSkin, I've actually seen the advertisements for OneSkin also. Okay, I will say, I don't know very much about OneSkin. I haven't looked deeply into OneSkin. What I have researched is that OneSkin has a retinol component to it, both the body and the facial OneSkin. Again, I don't know OneSkin very well. There could be updated info. But it's using a traditional retinol, which we do not. We do not use retinol on our in any of our products. Something that could be akin is kind of doing a create your own, which would look like taking something like the Radiant Skin Silk and taking Revitalize, which is a booster. Revitalize is part of this set of three concentrated boosting elixirs, which if you haven't looked into these yet, these are huge. These change the skin so much, but Revitalize is our retinol alternative. This utilizes our bioactive A, which is not a retinol, but works like a retinol. So doing a couple drops of that into revitalize and then applying that to the skin, that would be, I'm actually really into this idea. I haven't done this before, but now we're going to try. I think that would be really nice for the overall tone of the body to do a couple drops of that. And you don't need a lot. This a little bit goes a long way with this. Just like retinols, though, if you're doing that, do it only at night. So please don't put this on, especially if you're doing like shoulders or something, and then go out into the sun because this will increase just the potentiality that your skin might be sensitive. And so I don't want you to have a negative reaction being in the sun with it. But that's great. When will the new eye product arrive? Hmm, that's a great question. So what Beth is referring to is not on my desk either. We're launching an eye balm, which you can find the link, some of the info for that on the site in the eye section. But the eye balm is going to be here soon. I think we're looking at September-ish. Could be a little before, could be a little bit after. But that's kind of the trajectory we've got with it. And that's going to be amazing for just softness around the eye. It's really packed with a lot of skin strengtheners. So if you've got creasing, drooping, and then any kind of texture or dryness around the eye, that balm is going to just be like so good. So, so good. But yeah, right now the last check-in I had around it, we were looking at September-ish for that guy coming out. Ooh, Mary, can you leave the botanical lactic toner on overnight? You can, and actually, most of the times that's what I direct. So the product that Mary is referring to is this one. This is the botanical lactic toner. It is a toner. This is one that we pump into our hand, though. So it's a nice liquid like this, and you take your other fingers, you pick the product up, and you apply it to the face. I typically recommend the usage of the lactic toner happening in that toner position in the routine. So, cleansing the skin, patting it dry, and then applying the lactic toner to the entire face. You could do another layer if you've got areas that have like pronounced sun damage that you want to really, protect and things like that. Um, and then it stays on the skin, and then apply your serum and your moisturizer over the top of it. So yes, and wearing it at night is pretty much the most ideal way to wear this. So washing the face, putting your toner on, the lactic toner, doing your serum and your moisturizer in the evening, because this one with the lactic acid, it can again kind of create a little bit of a predisposition to be sensitive. And so we don't want you to put this on and then go right out into sunlight. Lactic toner. I always get asked then, like, oh, if I know I'm not going to be going outside or if I'm not going to be exposed to the sun, can I use it? And like, technically, yeah, you can put it on during the day, but just know that's why we recommend it at night, is that you're protecting your skin. So cool, cool, cool. Nice, Kimberly. She uses the Radiant Skin Silk. Okay, you guys are already doing it, but I do just want to invite in questions. This is like, let's just get into question answer here right now. How often do I recommend using the phytonutrient cleanser? So this is the Phyto nutrient cleanser. It kind of depends on your skin and what you're wanting to see happen. For a lot of people, I would recommend it be morning and evening every single night. If your skin is fairly normal, if you're maybe normal to dry, and especially if you're wanting to prioritize softening signs of aging, things like creasing, drooping, dark spots, Phyto is really good for. But it functions as your cleanser, and so you can use that as you're cleansing your face morning and evening. My skin type, for reference, is on the dry, sensitive side. So I typically use the aloe herb cleanser a little more frequently. And then we'll use the phytonutrient cleanser every so often. So maybe once a week, maybe a couple times a week, but not as often as I use the aloe herb cleanser. But it can be used every, yeah, morning and night. Um, Hair product sounds heavenly. So we do have our hair serum. We have a sample of our hair serum that's part of our giveaway today. And the hair serum, the full size, this is what the full size looks like. Comes in this cute little pot. I think this is an empty jar because I've used the heck out of it. It is. So you can't really tell. But I scraped up every last bit of this. I have really long hair. It's kind of like mid chest length, and I really put a lot of effort into taking care of it. So I wash with our shampoo and conditioner. I typically only wash once a week, and then on the off days, I moisturize the ends with the serum. The serum does a really good job of providing this light moisture, but not weighing it down. So yeah, I have absolutely fallen in love with this. And I always tell the story. Okay, now buckle up. Let's get some Annmarie Skincare lore happening here. We used to, way back in the day, we launched a hair mask. And I don't even know the time frame of this. This is 2021 or so. And I remember wanting to love it so bad. And it was a giant thing. If you've gotten the Palo Santo body butter, it was the same size jar. And it was so thick. It was so thick. And so I just never worked for me. So when we had the plan to launch the hair serum, I was kind of like, okay, we'll see if it actually, I didn't have high expectations, but it just becomes something that I don't live without. I cannot live without it. Even when I go camping, which is almost embarrassing to admit, but especially being out in the sun, it being really hot, drying out my ends, I bring it with me when I camp. So this is the hair serum, and this is part of our samples. There's a little sample that is part of the giveaway today. So great time to check that out. Oh, Mary's commenting on the t-shirt. This is a pretty old one. And I honestly don't remember where in my career I got this. So we definitely don't have any more. I don't even know for sure where it came from. Okay, so Enlise, so if you use a base, I assume a base is like foundation. Do I apply sunscreen before? Do I apply before or after the sunscreen? So your sunscreen is your last step in your skincare routine, and it will happen before makeup. So you'll do your full routine. Your sun love is your final step. And then you might give it a moment or two to absorb. I don't know, if you're using a liquid, you maybe don't need to. If I'm using a powder foundation, I do give it a moment or two to absorb. And then I put my complexion products over the top of it. So last step in your skincare routine, and then you can apply makeup. Oh, Katie, good question. So Katie asked, is Sunlove good for the whole day? Sunlove does have a reapplication time, and this is actually true for all sunscreen, whether they advertise it or not. You might still have a little bit of coverage if you apply your Sunlove at like, 9 in the morning and then you get off work at 4. There might be some, but typically we recommend reapplying every 2 hours to sustain the most potent sun block happening. And this can also vary with skin tone. Um, but what I typically do is I apply it first thing in the morning, and then before I go out, so I work from home. This is my house. Welcome in, everybody. Before I go out, in the sun, I'll reapply in the afternoon. So I at home don't reapply every 2 hours. That would be excessive. But if I worked outside, I might. And before I go out into the world. And if I wear makeup, which for me is not the most common, typically what I'll do is I'll pump it on my fingertips and press it into my skin. And I get kind of the least disruption of complexion, foundation or whatever else I've done, kind of pressing it into the skin. But I do put it on before I go out and get in my car and drive somewhere in the afternoon. Oh, good question, Melissa. Are we doing seasonal artist canvas bags? So again, kind of some Annmarie Skincare lore. For a long time, we had a tote bag that launched every year. I think it was, or maybe it was twice a year, that had different designers. And sometimes we would do contests and other things like that. But we haven't done that in a while. We do have a new tote coming out, but I don't know that I don't know that it says and it might be our in-house artist. And I think it might be Sunlove devoted. This is Sunlove. Sunlove is our sister brand. Do check them out. Us out. It's us. But the line itself is a sunscreen line. Um, so I guess my answer to that is I'm not quite sure. We aren't doing the regularity that we did, but there has been conversation of a tote bag coming out. So, yeah, that's the info I have at this point right now. No, Rudy, we are not planning on bringing Enliven back. Enliven was one of the scented body oils that was a limited edition. So that one does not have any plan to return. But I love hearing that you loved that scent. So that's nice. So, Lisa, what will work to fade liver spots? And my interpretation of liver spots is maybe larger dark spots that show up on the cheeks. There are several products that can be very supportive for seeing that fade, seeing that lift. One thing that I'll note, we've talked about this on lots of calls, but with dark spots, when we're working on fading dark spots, make sure you're using sun protection. When there's been some sun damage in the skin, melanin, it lights up and moves up. And so then anytime there's sun exposure, UV exposure, it does not take much for it to move back up and be kind of re-triggered in the skin. So that's one thing that I would note. But products in the line, the Botanical Lactic Toner is amazing for dark spots. I'm obsessed with this one for dark spots. The Wild Fruit Serum is my favorite serum for dark spots, and boosting this with Brighton. So Brighton is a concentrated vitamin C. This is the solo bottle. So if you purchase this one on its own, Brighton is also available in the set of 3 concentrated boosting elixirs. The tops of these are getting really oily. They almost want to slip out of my hand, but which wouldn't happen to yours because you probably won't touch them as much as I end up touching them. But wild fruit serum boosted, um, both the Brighton booster and the Revitalize. Again, Revitalize is that lactic alternative, or excuse me, retinol alternative, not lactic alternative. That's part of the boosting collection. All of those can be really helpful for fading those. But big thing, as you're doing that, is protecting the skin from the sun. Um, let's see here. Yeah, Marilyn, which facial oil is a good alternative for the anti-aging facial oil? So I'm going to answer this one, and then I do want to just, remind us all of the giveaway that we've got going on, the promo that we've got going on. So the anti-aging facial oil is a staple, is a classic. This is the anti-aging facial oil. It's a rich golden jojoba, this beautiful organic jojoba that we steep herbs and seeds into it to give it this really nutritious, very supportive kind of restorative, revitalizing feel. But sometimes you've tried an oil and you're ready to try a new one. We've got amazing options. My favorite till the day I die is going to be the rejuvenating facial oil. The rejuvenating facial oil is crafted really differently. So it's part of the Wild Alchemy collection. We still start with the golden organic jojoba, but what sets it apart from all of the other oils is that with the other oils, we take our anchor oil and we steep herbs and seeds and florals into them. With the rejuvenating, this one, we did a little bit of steeping, but what we did instead was we took ingredients in a concentrated form and added those to the blend. So we have black cumin seed, we have butterfly pea flower, we have blue tansy, oh gosh, mungongo. All of these are added in a concentrated form versus this like steeped version. So the end result is this very concentrated, amazingly smoothing and brightening facial oil, the rejuvenating facial oil. A little goes a long way. I never do more than a pump of this. Well, I'll modify that. If I'm doing gua sha, this guy, if I'm going to go do a little gua sha routine, I will use a little bit more. But for day in and day out, I don't ever use more than a pump on my face. So this is another really amazing facial oil option. Another one that we've got going on is the Divine Woman Elixir. This is a limited edition. So if it piques your interest, today's the day because when we sell through, which we typically sell through by holiday, um, it's gone until we launch it next year. But what sets this one apart is the herbs we use in here, the herbs and the florals. Feverfew, echinacea, calendula. Annmarie grows them and harvests them herself. So the freshness of that, you feel it. The product is alive. It is so, so fresh. It's also great for dry skin. It's very supportive for skin that's sensitive or reactive, and then just general signs of aging with the Divine Woman Elixir. So this is another strong contender if you're looking for an alternative to the anti-aging. Both of those are great. And the Divine Woman is limited. The Rejuvenating is not limited. So that one we have, is this what an anchor product, a pillar product. But the other ones, the Divine Woman is just in and out. So, so many people have hopped on as we've been talking here. I want to just, you know, highlight what we've got going on as a promo again. And Grace, if you want to pop it in the chat. So we could, oh, it's already here. So ASC 17 live is your code. This is for 30% off. And we don't do 30% very often. We were kind of talking about this at the beginning of the call. We do 30% off. Um, just kind of sporadically as like a big giveaway, like a big extra generous offer. And because we're celebrating our 17-year anniversary this month, this is the discount that we've got. So it does turn off at 4 o'clock Pacific today. And then we've got a sample of the smoothing hair serum. That's part of your order. And then if your order's over 150, you are going to get the eye cream, this guy, which is great for puffiness, for creasing, for drooping, all of that. So wanted to make sure to put that in there again. Again, that coupon code is ASC17 live at checkout. So definitely check that out. Now, I know that there are a lot of questions that I haven't gotten to yet, but I want to invite Katie in. Katie is my customer support manager. Katie's also one of my dear friends, and so I'm excited that she's here to talk about the brand ambassador program and tell us about, why it's cool, why it's awesome.
Hi, Kate. Yeah,
Hey.
happy to be here. So stoked about our 17 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so grateful to work for this company and with you and Grace and everyone. It's so awesome. And we just want to bring you guys into that feeling of being more a part of the collective, like a higher realm of the collective, of having some stake in the company in a way. If you're already doing referrals and you love the brand and talking about it, you can go down our regular referral path where you get products, or you could join our brand ambassador program. It's free to join. It is, and then you get a kickback. You get 15% on your the orders, the commission of the orders that your friends and family place if they're new customers. And really, it's just about, the reason why we created the program is to just be able to extend that, feeling of inclusiveness, and um like being, a bigger part of the brand with us, because there's some of you that are just such, like, almost like family. It's like, we know you, you know us, and why not, so it's super easy to sign up, free, and there's automatic entry, so no hurdles to climb or anything like that. But if you do feel that you have the opportunity to share the company with friends and you already are talking about it, might as well get a kickback. And so you can choose different options. There's a direct PayPal payout, or you can choose to get gift certificates to Annmarie Skin Care, and then you get a higher percentage. So why not, right? So anyone
Mhm.
can apply. You get your own unique referral code. So whenever you give that out, your friends and family use that, and that brings them to the site, and they just check out there, and then their order goes through your portal. You have your own portal where you can check and look at, the orders that people have placed, your commission, the timeline of payouts and things like that. And yeah, then you can share it like easily with either, if you already have social media, you can do it that way, or you can just do it via text or email, or just in communication with friends, or even in wellness communities. So obviously, I'm always talking about the brand, but when I'm just in my wellness routines and different parts of life, like I'm just talking about the way I am and the things that I love, it often comes up, the brand comes up. And so then I'm talking to new people all the time. And if I were one of you, I would then share my link, because then why not? Why not help them help you? And it's really designed to feel really super approachable and accessible, and not salesy and nothing like that. It's not like an influencer program thing. We also have that, but that's a different own thing. This is really just about expanding your wings in like feeling like you are a bigger part of the company and getting a better kickback. So, um, yeah, so it starts at 15% your commission, and then it can go up depending on how you choose. And then if your new person orders again within the month, then you get another bonus percentage on that. So, um, yeah, we'll put the link in the chat, and it's super easy. You could read about all the other information, like the small minor details and things like that. But it's great, and we hope you join. It's a really fun program and super easy.
Cool. Yeah, and Katie, there were a couple questions in the chat. One of them, Brianna wants to know, like, what's the difference between the referral program and the brand ambassador program?
So the referral is it's really basically the same type of thing. Like it's both referring. But with referral, you're getting gifts. So you're getting products as your kickback for the referral. So we upgraded our referral program, I think around September last year, where we have different tiered gifts now. And so you refer one friend, you get this gift, you do two, you get another gift. And so it's down the line like that. You could check it out. I'll add the link. Um, or in this case, with the brand ambassador program, you get cash kickback or gift certificate kickback. So the main difference is what you're receiving when you refer. You could look at the brand ambassador program like a referral program, but we like to call it that because you are being an ambassador of a brand that you love. So we like to, give it more of an energy that you are, at a different place in the collective. Yeah, so those are the main differences.
Cool.
And
And then,
yeah,
yeah,
I'll look at that for you and I'll connect with you. If you write in to ask, Karen, because I don't have your last name there, I'll communicate with you and we'll figure it out.
cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah, we launched the brand ambassador program. Gosh, when was
When
the
was
brand?
launch? Around yeah, I think it was around the springtime last year. Um,
Mm,
almost a year.
hmm.
We started it with a different iteration of it, and it was a little bit like more complicated. And so we
Yeah.
cleaned it really like super easy. And yeah, actually it was last September. So we'll be having our first anniversary in September.
Ooh, that's fun. Oh, yeah, we should touch base. We might have a call for you guys for the brand ambassador program. Um, yeah, cool. Yeah, the brand ambassador program is one of my favorite things to talk about in like consults and group consults because for me, I know I'm on the inside, so like I don't know, I'm not outside looking in, but it feels like such an easy way to get more of what you're already using a lot of is like telling your friends about it, which so many people on the consults are already doing anyway, and then sharing your link, and then people shop through your link, and then you get the benefit of it. So yeah, we tried to make it as like seamless, like with as little friction as possible for it to benefit you directly. So yeah, love it. And Kenny will pop the link in the chat and you can continue to pop questions and stuff in there as we're going along.
Yeah, for me, it feels like it's a no-brainer because it's free to join, free to stay in the program. There's no commitment or trial or anything like that. And so if you think you might, do some referrals, and then you start doing it and you get kickbacks, you might do more. Like, why not? So yeah,
Yeah,
you
cool.
joined.
Cool, cool. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up. We've got a good 10 minutes left, and I definitely passed up some questions here. So I want to see maybe what I missed. And I may be able to get to all questions today. If not, check out the events page on the site. I do want to plug while we're all hanging out that if you are concerned with dark spots, the next 3 Tuesdays this month, we are doing this live call series that you can check out on the events page that's specific to dark spots. We are going to deep dive into dark spots and working with dark spots and fading dark spots. So there's a lot more info to get into there. We've got promos going on with those. So um, check those out on under our About tab, there's a link that says live events, and you could see some more about that. But Let me scroll back up and see some questions. Okay, Brianna was asking about the concentrated boosting elixirs. Um, she got as part of a gift with purchase. Oh, but don't really know how to use them. Let's talk about these. So, the concentrated boosting elixirs are a set of three boosters. They are not designed to go right onto the skin. So, tuck that info away. That's a highlight. Because if we put this directly on the skin, usually it's kind of doing the opposite. It's not supporting the skin. But they're concentrated forms that we mix into something else. The first one is called hydrate. This is hyaluronic acid and peptides. The second is called brighten, and the second is covered in oil. Brighten is a concentrated vitamin C. And the third is revitalize, and this is that retinol alternative. How you use them is you mix them into something. You can mix it into your serum, you can mix it into your oil or your cream. You can mix them into masks. I have some teammates who mix them into masks. My personal opinion is that they're not, this, you're paying money for this, so like leave it on the skin as long as possible. So I typically mix it into the serum. What that looks like is I'll take my serum. Usually I do wild fruit because I love. I'll do maybe 2 pumps, a pump and a half of the serum, and then take whichever booster and do 1 to 3 drops of the booster. Mix it. I dot my cheeks, my forehead, my chin, whatever is left. I usually press into my neck and my chest and then blend that around. A couple things to note with the boosters. Hydrate can mix with either of them. Hydrate can be used morning or evening. Brighten and revitalize, we don't mix. We don't mix these two together. Nothing crazy happens. It's not going to burn your face off. It just kind of decreases how effective both of them are independently. So, that you get the best, most concentrated alive versions separate. So typically that looks like Brighten is your morning booster and Revitalize, because this one is working like a retinol, we're doing this one in the evening. We don't want you to put it on and then go out into the sun. So that is how you use them. And I use them every day. You don't have to, but I find that I get the most significant change the fastest doing it every day. I typically do Brighten every morning. Revitalize, sometimes I do Revitalize, sometimes I don't. But I typically do Brighten every single morning. Hydrate, I also do morning and evening. So, um, okay. Lactic toner says use 1 to 3 times a week. Yes. Okay. So Kathy, that one, it kind of depends on your skin type. I work with a lot of folks who are able to use that one every single night. Most folks kind of can fall around the 4 to 5 day mark. But know that if you're sensitive or dry, you might do 3 or 4 nights on and then 3 or 4 nights off. And this is going to be something that you'll kind of have a better feel with as you develop a relationship with how the product feels and how your skin responds to it, so that you can kind of slot that in accordingly. So you can go every single night genuinely, but sometimes folks, depending on your skin type, if you're drier or sensitive, you're gonna fall more in between like the 3-ish mark. Okay, so how do I use the lactic toner with the activated night serum and resurfacing facial exfoliant? First of all, love all these. The lactic toner we just talked about, you can use it every night. The other one you've got here is the activated night serum. So anyone who's new, if you don't know, the activated night serum is our serum. It's a full-bodied serum that contains the retinol alternative. This one is not a booster. It is, a serum that has more going on than just the retinol alternative, but does have the retinol alternative. And then the resurfacing, this one is a higher percentage of lactic acid. This is sometimes between like a 5 and 10% lactic acid that we are using to exfoliate. So I'll start with this one. This one I typically do no more than once a week. For my skin type, again, kind of dry, kind of sensitive, especially in the winter time, I might only do this one once every 10 days, once every 2 weeks. Now, if your skin's different, you might be able to use it more frequently, but that's the time frame that I work with. Um, so where that falls is like, once every 2 weeks to once a week, depending on your skin. Now, this one, if you're going to do the resurfacing exfoliant, please do it in the evening. And most likely, you're going to take the night off of the lactic toner and the resurfacing or the serum, the activated night serum. Depending on your skin type, you might also take the next night or two off of those. Um, Again, this kind of will come down to how sensitive you are or how prone you are to being drier or more, sensitive or red. You might just take that night off, and that's fine. But you might also find that you want to use that the night after, and that's okay. So that's the resurfacing facial exfoliant. Now, these two can be used together. I will share with you my routine and then all of the variations that this could look like. What I have been doing is I've been doing these together. So I cleanse with the aloe herb cleanser. I'm using the lactic toner. I'm using the activated night serum. Then I typically use, I'm extra. I mix the facial cream with the rejuvenating oil. And I've been doing that combo about 4 nights a week. Now, I know my skin, when it gets colder out, I'm probably going to dial it back, maybe three, maybe two. I might also alternate. So I might do 2 or 3 nights with the lactic toner and then something like the wild fruit at night. And then 2 or 3 nights with the botanical hydration mist. This is my favorite with the activated night serum. So hopefully that's not a super, super complicated explanation. I think in short, you can use them together, but again, you're going to kind of be developing the relationship with how your skin is responding to both of those. And be really attuned to any dryness, any pink skin, if your cheeks are getting pink or red, and how skin is responding. So, and if you're seeing that, just dial it back a little bit. Um, Okay, so Elise, the hair serum tends to make your hair greasy. You could be using too much. I use mine in 2 ways. I don't have it. Open the jar. I press my fingernail backwards to scrape it out. I am not doing more than a fingernail amount when I'm using it. And then I warm it in my other hand and will kind of just press it all the way into my hand. And then I'll do it when I first dry or wash my hair and my hair's damp, and I'll just do it on the ends and I've spread it across my hand so I don't have like a chunk or like a very concentrated amount. And then when I do it later in the week, it's kind of the same thing. I'll press about a fingernail's worth, warm it, get it onto my fingertips, and then pull it into the ends of my hair. Most people don't really need to bring it up any higher, towards the roots. So anything that's kind of close to the head, anything closer than this, you don't really need. Um, Every once in a while, I work with somebody who's got a dry scalp that they might, or their hair tends to be really dry that they might. Oh my gosh, it's already 56, 58. So, you try using a little bit less, try just focusing on the ends and seeing if that doesn't shift it for you. So we are very, very close to the end of the call. Please, 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 if I didn't get to your questions, which is very likely possible because there are so many more in here, join us on either a consult. We've got group consultations. Group consultations are, yeah, one of my favorite ways to do these like kind of more conversational calls, or on another live call. Maybe you had dark spot specific calls. Join me through the month of August in these dark spot calls that are happening on Tuesdays. We got cool stuff going on there. And then just to kind of bring it to a close, we do have the promo. So this code ASC17 Live, it does shut off at 4 o'clock Pacific. So especially if you're watching this at a later date, that promo's done. You've got a sample of the hair serum that we've talked about several times. And then if your order's over 150, we are going to send you our anti-aging eye cream. This guy, full size. And great for depuffing, great for creasing, drooping, all of that. I'm gonna just, yeah, there's so many more questions. I am sorry that I did not get into more of these, but you've got your 30% off. Please consider if you've got questions, reach out to us at ask@annmariegianni.com. And then while Grace is answering Brianna's last question here, I'm going to pull the link for the live calls so that you can join us on a live call. Find the other ones. She's already probably shared it because Grace is Grace, and Grace is just like the backbone of everything we do. But here we go, live events. So join us for other live events, especially the dark spot call. So I want to hang out with more of you. Okay, cool. We are on the hour. We are closing it out. Thank you so much, all of you, for being part of Annmarie Skincare. I love this relationship. I love getting to invite you into my home and hang out and just talk about products that I already love so much. So very, very grateful for all of you. And hopefully get to see you guys on other live calls. So thanks, everybody. We'll talk soon. Bye, guys.